Ryan, would you like to introduce our wonderful guest today?
Absolutely. So this week on the All In Podcast, we are featuring one of the fastest growing poker vlogs on YouTube. With a fantastic combination of professional grade editing skills, personalities that are larger than life, and enthusiasm that comes with learning the game, Next Gen Poker has burst onto the poker vlogging scene. In just 2 months of existence, this team of 3 SMU students have run up almost 4,000 subscribers, receiving well in excess of 10,000 views on each video. And I've been begging Bryce to have these guys on here for weeks, and I've finally gotten my wish. Please welcome Jello, Rosie, and Frankie of Next Gen Poker.
That was the coolest intro ever. Like, I want a clip of that so we can put it in an intro montage for the next video.
What is up, guys?
I can't feel my legs.
My biggest tourney buy-in in my entire life has been $100.
Mine has been $50 online.
My biggest buy-in has been $35, literally last week.
I think if you add all of those together, we still do not get to what we are each paying to enter this thing tonight, boys.
$265.
50,000 guaranteed. We'll put up the blind structure right here. Rosie, you've been studying tourneys?
Yes, I've been studying tourneys, and I want to give a shout out to the people that have staked me. And maybe if you guys have been staked, I want to give a shout out to my mom and dad for holding it down, supporting the boys' gambling addiction. I want to give a shout out to Julian Ball. You're the man, Julian. Ball sack for life. And Cody Black, freshman soccer stud at SMU. I love you, kid. I'll bring it home for you guys.
I want to give a shout out to Garrett Dwyer, Julian Ball, my boys back home, Sammy and Danny, as well as Poker Police. We'll post his YouTube account in the bio below to
show all those guys love. They are the reason we are here.
And I want to give a shout out to myself for trying to do this on my own. Wish us luck. Let's go, boys!
What's up, boys?
Boys, huge announcement. Just dropped merch at nextgenpokershop.com. Make sure to check them out. We got hoodies, long sleeve t-shirts, black, gray, and white.
nextgenpokershop.com. It's easy. It's right here. Links here, links here.
Love you, boys.
enjoy the rest of the vlog.
Right now.
First hand for me, we have blinds at 400, 800 with an 800 big blind ante. So the big blind has to put in 800 by himself before the blinds are put out. My stack's 24,000, which is 30 big blinds. We have ace 10 offsuit on the button. It folds all the way to me, and I raise to 2,000. I don't know if I should maybe be making this bigger due to the big blind ante. If you guys have any comments about that, please let me know. I'm new to that whole structure because the big blind does make the call. So we are going heads up to a flop, which comes queen, 9, 4, rainbow. He thinks for a little bit and checks it over to me. I think we are going to fire a small c-bet here on this dry board, try to take it down with ace high. I bet 2,000, but he makes the call. So not having too much fun here. When the turn is an offsuit king, however, and he checks to me, I think this is actually a pretty good card to fire a bluff second barrel. All his hands that he's going to call with on the flop, I'm thinking a lot of them are queen X, and they're not going to like this king, and I could have a lot more kings in my range than he does. The only king that really makes sense for him to have would be king queen. So I fire this second barrel here, guys, for 5,500, looking to take this down as a bluff. That is not what happens. He makes the call. Still not having fun. The river is another king, and before the poker gods even give me a chance to do a 3-barrel bluff, he bets 10,000. This is just a flat-out fold. I'm wondering if maybe this could have been played or should have been played differently at any point. Please let me know in the comments, guys. Always trying to get better at tournaments. On to the next one.
So we started with 30k chips in this tournament. We go a little card dead for a while, and the first notable hand we pick up is pocket 8s in the small blind. Blinds are 400, 800 with an 800 big blind ante, and we have about 25,000 left in our stack, which gives us roughly 31 big blinds. It folds around to middle position, and middle position raises it up to 2,000. The button calls, and I decide to come along and make the call as well in the small blind, and the big blind calls as well. So we go to a flop 4 ways. We see what I like to call a pretty decent flop for us. Flop comes 2, 8, 5, 2 spades, 1 diamond, and so we flop the absolute nuts. I check, and the big blind checks as well. Middle position, the pre-flop aggressor decides to raise to 6,000. It folds around to me, and I decide here with only 23,000 in my stack left that I'm going to put on a jam here. One live tell that I picked up before in the past is that when there's a flush draw out on the board, a lot of people who have the 2 spades in their hand tend to look down at their cards before they make a bet or even a raise. And so before I decide to actually move all in here, I look down at my cards once again and then make the all in. I think that this makes my hand look a lot bluffier and make him think that I have a lot weaker of a holding. I think that there are a lot of hands here, such as draws like 6-7 or a flush draw, or maybe a low overpair that would jam here and can get called by a lot of his range here, because his range includes all overpairs and potentially he could have a strong flush draw as well. So I decide to jam here for 23,000, and the small blind folds and middle position tanks for a while. He announces to me that he can only beat a bluff.
I might have to call you. I gotta put you on a draw, bro. I can beat a draw. That's all I can beat, though.
So that's good news to me. I put him on something like maybe ace king, ace queen. He tanks for a while and eventually tosses in the crying call. I'm ecstatic. I flip over the nuts. Middle position is very reluctant to flip over his cards, so that's a very good sign for me. And eventually he does flip him over. He has ace queen offsuit, no spades in his hand, so I'm looking good here. I'll let you guys watch the run out yourselves.
Oh, put a 4 out there.
I'm happy to see a clean run out, and although I was very far ahead, my hands and knees were still shaking pretty hard during this whole hand. It's my biggest tourney of my life. I'm so hyped to double up. Let's go. Let's make a big run here. We got this.
Now that you've bought the merch, this is an even bigger announcement, boys. As you are watching this right now, we are on the way to Austin. We are playing in Texas Card House Austin's live stream game 2-5 with Rampage Poker. All of the details will be on the screen right now and in the description. This is the biggest game of our entire careers. Please watch us. Please support. We are tweaking. I'm tweaking. They're tweaking too. Hope you guys enjoy.
Yo, hype it up, boys. Share it to all your friends. Make this the most watched Texas Card House live stream ever.
Rampage, we're coming for you, buddy. We're coming for you.
Love that.
Getting stacks in, guaranteed. Catch you there, boys.
For our very first hand of the tournament, we pick up 8-9 of spades. The blinds are 200, 400 with the 400 big blind ante. Here, I think it's a tough spot whether to fold here or bet. Since I've already chipped up to 45,000, I decide to actually make the raise, and the big blind makes the call because he is so priced in. So after making the call, we go to a flop, which comes 2, 9, 10. I pick up a pair, so I bet 1,200, and now the big blind decides to raise to 4,000. I don't think I could be folding here with the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw possibilities, and a pair. So I decide to make the call, and we go off to a turn card, which is an awesome one. The 8 of hearts, I pick up 2 pair. Now I'm feeling a lot more confident with my hand. Big blind leads for a smaller amount this time, 5,000, so not too much compared to the pot size. And now I decide to just make the call because I do hit up 2 pair, but I'm a little bit worried about Jack Queen because that'd be an obvious card to raise as a semi bluff. So that's why I decided to just make the call on the turn. And then the river is a king. And now when he checks to me, I don't think he has Jack Queen, so I know I am not behind to that. But because I'm afraid he could pick up some, random King 8, King 10, King 9 pairs after calling the big blind, he's going to have a pretty wide range. I decided to go a little passive route, take the check back, and we end up with the winner as the opponent shows 10-6. So he did have me on the flop when he raised it, and we did get lucky on the turn. Nice pot to take down, and the 8-9 raise in middle position ended up working out.
This hand we have blinds at 500, 1,000 with 1,000 big blind ante. My stack is 12,000, which is just 12 big blinds. We are under the gun +1 and look down at King Queen of Spades. Now, I don't know, again, I'm going to ask for your guys' help in the comments one more time, if this is just an open jam or a min raise. People were playing pretty wide, so I feel like jamming is just going to eliminate all of the wide bad hands that I want them to call me with. So I actually just elect to raise here to 2,500, and it folds around to the big blind who calls. So I actually like how this turned out. We are heading heads up to a flop which comes 7, 10, 8 with 2 spades. We flop 2 overcards, backdoor straight draw, and the flush draw, of course. He checks to me. We only have about a little over 10,000 behind. So I end up ripping it all in here, guys, for 10,300. We wait, the guy is staring me down, like vigorously staring me down.
Every time that's the thing. I thought it was a lot too. But then like every time just keep scanning Arizona. Yeah, it was.
Our tournament life is on the line. Here we go.
I knew you were nervous. We're alive. Holy shit. No, that's a big one. It's a big one, Rosie.
Live to see another day, baby. Double up.
Double trouble.
Early on, after our double up, we are sitting here pretty with 49,000 on our stack, one of the bigger stacks at the table. Blinds are at 500, 1,000 with 1,000 big blind ante, so we've got a little under 50 bigs. We are in the big blind with King 10 suited, not a bad hand. Under the gun +1 decides to raise it up to 2,500. Middle position calls, the cutoff calls, and the small blind and button both fold. So there's a lot of dead money in the pot, about 10,000 in chips out there. I think this is a perfect time to 3-bet semi-bluff here. So I decide to go ahead and do just that, trying to take down the pot early on with a pretty decent holding that flops well. So I 3-bet here to 10,000 chips. And we get it through. Let's go. We keep chipping up here. We are looking good.
If you thought they would stop, they do not. Pocket kings. We look down at the second best hand in poker with the blinds at 500 and 1,000. My stack's at 50,000, and we see a 5x open from middle position player, and we are loving life already. I'm going to be putting a 3-bet here and decide to go for 15,000. 3x'd it. The pot's already getting very large, and then the small blind decides to jam all his chips in the middle for 32,000. Stacks are flying, and it's back to the middle player who decides to just make the call with 32,000.
What are you going to do? Good question.
The small blind asked me what am I going to do, and now I'm looking at my chips and the middle player's chips. He is the only player at the table who covers me, so if I go all in, he's going to be making a call because I know it's for not that much more. So I decide, although I don't like putting in 50 big blinds 3-way all in such a big buy-in tournament when I care more about cashing, I'm never folding here. I decide to rip it all in.
Wow.
And the Millstream player makes a snap call, and I have the whole flop coming for you boys. Live Texas Card House for $50,000. The flop is clean. Bad turn cards. And the river ends our day as Millstream player, the only person who covered us, hits a set and cracks our pocket kings, as the Cowboys don't hold to either of their hands, and I am going to be eliminated from this tournament after such a strong hot run. You know what, that's unfortunate, but that's what happens in tourneys, and can't be disappointed with my play, as I am never going to be folding in this spot because the chips are more valuable than trying to hold on in cash. So yes, still was very hard to deal with. Here I am talking to the small blind who busted with me.
Kings versus ace queen versus pocket tens. And he beat us with pocket tens.
You know what, boys? It's all right. Next time we're going to win that hand and be a big stack in the tournament.
54, 26, and 18.
Your boy's right here. He was in the hand. He had ace queen suited. We both were looking way better than the other guy, but you know what? That's poker. Are you rebuying?
I just did. I busted the first hand.
Oh no!
Turn 2 pair, and the guy, I go, are you on a flush draw? He said yes.
Well,
Hit the flush.
I might be buying in tomorrow, but that's poker tournaments. What are you gonna do?
Oh, that's...
Literally, this guy is 1.9 million in
Old school.
This is next generation poker. This is the old generation of poker.
Over the hill.
I am shocked.
We run Card Dead for quite a while, which is why you see me shuffling my cards around, trying to heat them up and catch a little heater hand for us. So I'm pretty excited when we look down at Ace Jack suited in the cutoff. We've got about 10 big blinds left, blinds at 1,000, 2,000, and we see a raise from under the gun +1 to 4,000 chips. Middle position calls, and the hijack decides to come along as well. And so with all this dead money in the pot, I think this is a perfect time to rip it all in here, which I do. I rip it all in for 19.5 thousand, and it folds around to under the gun +1, who thinks about it for a while, and eventually tosses in the call. Middle position and hijack both fold, which I'm excited about because I want to see these flops heads up, giving me the best opportunity to catch a double up and stack up. After everyone else folds, he flips over pocket eights and I flip over my hand. I'm pretty excited to be up against pocket eights because I still have a lot of outs and have a lot of opportunity to double up here, even though we are slightly behind pre-flop. We go to a flop and I'll let you guys watch the run out yourselves. And boom, just like that, he flops a set against us, so we're drawing pretty close to dead on the flop. Not what we love to see, and we are out. That is the end of our tourney life, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank everyone for following us on Instagram, keeping up with the tourney, and for everyone who helped stake us as well. This was a super exciting opportunity and one of the coolest times of my life to play in one of the biggest tourneys I've ever played in. This is definitely not the last. We will keep studying and keep learning tournaments, and we'll be back, and you'll see us catching a dub not too long from now.
Next hand for me, blinds are now up to 1,000, 2,000. About half the field has been eliminated. We have ace-8 offsuit. Our stack's not looking too sharp. We got about 8 big blinds. Middle position raises to 5,000. Cutoff calls. This is a jam, boys. I haven't seen an ace in a really long time. Middle position, rejams all in, and the cutoff comes along as well. Here we go.
It's not that much. I just did it because I haven't seen an ace in an hour.
You're ahead of me.
14K 300.
Ace what?
8?
I'm live.
He's live.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ahead. I'm winning. I'm winning as of now.
Of course you're winning. With your donkey. With short stacks.
Okay, I can say I got it in good, boys. This is it.
We getting on the.
I got it in good. I got it in good. Here we go, boys. Oh, come on. Here we go, boys. This is it. Here we go. Here we go. Come on. Show me an ace. Oh, that's so deep. That's so whack. That's Two race. Oh. I got. I got it in good.
He got it in good.
I got it in good.
That's a live stream show.
Good hand, man. All right, boys. In the parking lot, just got some in and out. If you get it in good, you get it in good. So I know normally if you get staked by someone and you lose, you don't have to give them anything. But because these were my boys and they staked me for the first time ever, my first ever stakers, I went to the hideaway and played cash after and made enough back to give them their individual stakes back. So Julian Ball, Venmo coming your way. Cody Black, Venmo coming your way. Thank you guys for taking a chance on me. Parents, I didn't forget about you either. I didn't win that much. I'll do the dishes when I get home. Got you. This was a really fun experience. I hope you guys enjoy the vlog. That's it for me. Peace.